Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. In this video, for years, government employees have been waiting for one big decision that could change their financial future after retirement. Endless debates, parliament questions, and street protests have all circled around one demand. And recently, hints of change sparked fresh excitement when the centre introduced a brand new pension scheme. With rumours spreading about a possible return of the old pension scheme, the question arises, is the government really planning to bring it back, or is it sticking to a different path? Before we go into the topic, we request you all to subscribe to our channel and support us. The debate over India's pension system continues to generate significant discussion, as the centre finds itself under pressure from government employees demanding the restoration of the old pension scheme, OPS. Recently, questions were raised again in Parliament during the monsoon session about the possibility of bringing back OPS, especially after the lukewarm response to the newly introduced Unified Pension Scheme, UPS. However, the government has made its stance clear. The Finance Ministry has said that there is currently no proposal under consideration to restore OPS, despite growing demands from employee unions who argue that the National Pension System, NPS, has failed to provide adequate financial security after retirement. The demand for OPS has persisted for over 2 decades, ever since it was replaced by NPS in 2004. Under OPS, employees were guaranteed 50% of their last drawn salary as pension, without any personal contribution. This scheme worked as a defined benefit system but put significant financial pressure on the government, which is why it was phased out. In its place came the NPS, where both the employee and the centre contribute, and pension returns depend on market performance. While NPS has reduced the fiscal burden, many employees have voiced concerns about its unpredictability and lack of guaranteed post-retirement support. In Parliament, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman explained that OPS was not sustainable in the long run because it created a looming fiscal burden. She pointed out that NPS, as a defined contribution system, was designed keeping financial prudence in mind. However, acknowledging long-standing employee concerns, she highlighted that a committee under the then Finance Secretary studied possible reforms within the framework of NPS. Based on its recommendations, UPS was crafted as a hybrid option to combine certain benefits of both OPS and NPS. Introduced in April this year, UPS promises guaranteed benefits such as 50% of salary as assured pension after 25 years of service, with contributions split between employees and the government. Currently, around 85 lakh employees across central and state departments are under the NPS. All central government bodies and autonomous institutions come under its purview, except the armed forces, which remain outside. When UPS was rolled out, it was expected to receive a considerable number of enrollments, considering employee dissatisfaction with NPS. However, the response has been weaker than anticipated. Of the 23 lakh central government employees eligible to shift to UPS, only about 30,989, just 1.35% have opted in so far. The underwhelming figures have forced the centre to extend the deadline for joining UPS until 30th September 2025, giving employees more time to consider the option. The core differences among the three schemes explain the ongoing debate. OPS required no contribution from employees and guaranteed fixed pension benefits based on salary. NPS, on the other hand, is market-linked, with both employees and the government contributing regularly, but offering no guaranteed pension amount. UPS attempts to address this gap by defining contribution rates 10% from employees and 18.5% from the government, while assuring half the salary as pension after 25 years of service. Despite the government's efforts, employees' dissatisfaction continues. A key reason is that UPS, while closer to OPS in guaranteeing defined benefits, still demands regular contributions, limits pension eligibility to those with long service years, and defines a narrow family structure for pension coverage. Many workers fear losing the flexibility and tax benefits associated with NPS if they switch to UPS. Others continue to hope that the loud and consistent demand for OPS will eventually force the center to restore it. For many, UPS represents a half measure that does not fully bring back the financial certainty that OPS once offered. The reluctance towards UPS is also rooted in skepticism. While it is marketed as a balanced mix of OPS and NPS, employees argue that it lacks the absolute assurance of the old system. Hence, participation remains low. Overall, these factors highlight that the success of UPS will depend on the government's ability to address employees' trust deficit and offer higher financial security within the constraints of fiscal responsibility. For now, the center has drawn a clear line. OPS will not be restored because of the enormous burden it poses on the exchequer. Instead, UPS is being projected as the middle ground. Yet, with participation levels far below expectations, the road ahead for pension reforms appears challenging. The next few months could prove decisive, as the government attempts to convince skeptical employees that UPS can balance the need for fiscal discipline with the promise of post-retirement security. Ultimately, the outcome of this debate will determine how India's workforce prepares for its financial future after decades of service to the state. If you found this information valuable, please share it in your WhatsApp and Facebook groups. Comment below with your questions and don't forget to subscribe for fact-based updates. Thank you for watching this video.